upcoming weekend, there's some big fights coming. Finally, UFC 204, the rematch. Dan Henderson versus Michael Bisbing, or Michael Bisbing versus Dan Henderson, whichever way you want to name it.
Yeah, you put the champ first, I guess.
Got to put the champ first. Right off the bat, Ted, I want to start with talking about Stefan Struve. Stefan Struve's coming in here, and he's going to be fighting Dan O. I'm not even going to pronounce his last name because I can't. Anyways.
I'm going to take a stab at it because I believe he is Polish. Omilanchuk.
Okay, I can't pronounce that.
Just call him Danny O.
That's what I called him I was like, I'm going with Danny O here. So Stefan Struve, coming off a huge win to Bigfoot Silva.
Yeah, Struve, man, that the skyscraper, he's what, 6'11" or
7 foot.
And they bumped him up to 7. I remember for a while that he was 6'11". Right?
Yeah, you know how they do it over there.
Okay, you've earned it. We're gonna give you 7 feet. But yeah, no, I like Struve, and he's had his health problems. Remember, he had like a heart condition.
Yes, he had surgery on his heart.
I think it's beyond that now. He's 27-8, 27 wins, 8 losses. Believe it or not, he has twice as many submissions as he does knockouts. He has 8 knockouts, 16 submissions. He's a brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but he's submitted black belts before in fights. Before he got to the UFC. I like him in this fight. I don't know a whole lot about Danny O, but the one thing I do know about him, and looking at his record, never been knocked out, never been submitted. He has 5 losses, all by decision. I'm gonna have to go with Struve by decision.
By decision, and you know what, Ted? Congratulations on calling out that last week's fight of John Dodson Lineker going to decision. You called that one on the money.
I can't remember. Is that what I said?
Yeah, that's what you said. I was going to go to decision. I couldn't really see it.
I picked Dodson, though. I said Dodson by decision.
It was so close. It was literally so close. Dan O has a lot of strength. I'll give him that. I could see you going to decisions. Stefan Struve, though, has been on a tear and has always been a fierce competitor in that division. Hot and cold, though. Hot and cold.
Hot and cold, kind of hot and cold. Yeah, you're right. Here's the other takeaway. Danny O is only 6 feet tall, so he's dealing.
He's only 6 feet tall.
I mean, well, in the heavyweight division, yeah, you can say that. You can say only. He's rather short for the heavyweight division at an even 6. He's going up against a guy who's got a foot on him in height and God knows how many inches in reach.
This is going to be a great fight. I love that. I love when they put Stefan Struve on cards because he brings another atmosphere to it as well. A lot of people enjoy watching him fight because they know that he always goes in there and either if it's going to be him ended or someone else, they're either going to get knocked out or submitted. And it's always a great fight.
I'd like to see Struve in like a grappling match with Shaq.
With Shaq?
Shaq's apparently not so bad on the ground. I mean, I don't know if he'd be any match for Struve, but I mean, he's huge. He's like, what is he, 7'1" and like 350?
Crazy, man. That's just crazy how big Shaq is.
Or maybe Shaq versus Hong Man Choi. You know that guy who fights over in Ryzen? He's like about the same size.
Jesus. Yeah, I'm leaning with Struve here too. Look at his record, man. 31-8. That's crazy. Yeah, I'm leaning with Struve here too. Also on this card, Ted, OSP. Oven St. Preux.
Right. Right. His last fight was against John Jones, right? Was that his last one, or did he have another one?
Yeah, John Bones Jones, UFC 196? 197? Well, UFC 197.
So yeah, fighting Jimmy Manua.
Yeah, fighting Jimmy Manua. What do you think about this fight?
OSP is a very I know the phrase is overused, but he's a well-rounded fighter. He really is. 9 knockouts, 5 submissions, 5 decisions. He's 19-8. And he's a little bit of a, like you say, a hot and cold kind of guy. But I think he can get the win over Manua. Manua is kind of a one-dimensional striker. 15 wins, 13 of those by knockout. So if he's not knocking you out, he's not winning. And he's a very infrequent fighter. He only fought like a couple of times in the past couple of years. The last time I remember him fighting, it was against Gus couple of years ago or something.
He's got knockout power, man. I just think OSP is so well-rounded compared to him that OSP is going to come out with the win. He's got the length, great wrestling, great cardio and conditioning, and Manua has great knockout power. It's going to be a good fight.
Yeah, I actually think that OSP is going to knock out Manua.
I could see that happen. He's been having a rough year, man, getting knocked out by Glover Teixeira in his hometown. That was rough. And he was one of the highly respected prospects not too long ago.
Right, and I think this is a good, this could be a good start of something for him.
Reboot, yeah.
Yeah, this could be I like that. This could be the reboot for OSP. Get a win under his belt against Manua, who, like I said, is a one-dimensional kind of fighter. I said knockout. I did say knockout, but I can also envision pretty much any way OSP wants to do it. He can get a takedown on the guy and then submit him. You know what I mean? He's very proficient at that. So this is going to kind of be one of these, whatever presents itself to OSP first, that's what he's going to go with. He can end it any way he wants, I think. And so this would be a good win to get under his belt and be like, oh yeah, I got to win now. I'm climbing up.
Now remember, Ted, OSP has knockout power walking backwards as well. We've seen this happen with him in the past. Walk backwards, knocking people out. In that fight with John Bones Jones, man, he landed a couple of really nice shots on Bones. Let alone, though, a lot of people yell at me for this because he did lose every single round. But it wasn't like that crazy where it was like he could have won a couple of those rounds. Honestly, though, it's John Bones Jones. It's a tough fight for anyone out there. OSP, big position for him. That was a big fight for him. Fell to the former champion and really needs this reboot. I can see him getting the win as well here.
Yeah. All right. What do we got next?
So after that, Vitor Belfort versus Gegard the Mousasi.
Moose. Yeah. People like to call him Moose. Yeah, Vitor Belfort. This is what I wrote down for this one. You got a quick starter in Vitor Belfort versus a slow starter in Mousasi.
Good point. I'm happy that you pointed it out to everybody.
Yep. You hear people talk about Vitor Belfort. If you can survive the first round, if you can survive the Vitor blitz, because he's going to blitz you. If you can survive that, you got a pretty good chance of winning. I mean, yeah, he went, 4 or 5 rounds with John Jones and nearly submitted him.
Yeah, oh my God, that was a crazy fight.
But chances are, if you can get past that first round with this guy, this is a post-TRT Vitor, and that I think still comes into play. I mean, he's no spring chicken. He's been around for a long time. Gegard Mousasi, is good on the ground. He's good on the feet. So I see him surviving. I see him, although he has had difficulties. Remember how he got blitzed by Uriah Hall and lost. He got knocked out, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So this is a dangerous fight for Mousasi.
For both guys. It's a dangerous fight for both guys. Vitor's in a tough spot.
I'm leaning towards Moose, though. I'm leaning towards him. I think if he can get Vitor on the ground, it's some ground and pound. Like outlast him for the first couple rounds and then take it to the ground. That's kind of how I'm seeing it. Probably not going to submit him. Vitor's it's tough to submit. Moose is good on the ground, but he's not. I don't know that he's good enough to submit Vitor. So I'm seeing wasn't that how Weidman finished Belfort? Got him down, and then it was just GNP, bang, bang, bang. That's kind of how I see it for Mousasi. How about you?
Both these guys to mention have a win over Dan Henderson. Vitor Belfort ranked 5th in that division. He's hot and cold this year. This year, it's hard to pick him because he's in a tough position. He's, like you said, post-TRT Vitor. And you just don't know what to expect with him. Like you said, he comes out with that blitz. Gegard Mousasi, though, who's ranked 9th right now, who's also a veteran fighter. He has, almost 50 fights under his belt.
Yeah.
This is just a great matchup for Mousasi if he can get this win. This is going to be huge for him to catapult up to those rankings and get Vitor, who's still ranked 5th somehow.
Oh, okay. Because somebody asked Mousasi, like, hey, where does this put you if you beat Vitor? He goes, doesn't put me anywhere. Like he doesn't think that it's really going to do a whole heck of a lot for him, even though Vitor is ranked above him. I mean, because when you look at the title picture, you got Bisbing versus Henderson, you got Yoel Romero versus Weidman, you got Jacare versus Rockhold.
Those are some sharks.
He's got to wait for all that to clear out first, even if he gets the win over Belfort.
Yeah, it's a shark pool, man. It really is.
Yep. Oh, hey, by the way, over in the chat room, I got to ask you a question.
Okay.
You know Pat. You know Pat a lot better than I do. Does he always pick round 1 knockout?
Yes.
That's his thing.
Thank you for pointing that out, Ted. We see Pat pick out round 1 knockout, and sometimes he gets lucky and gets it. But Pat, you need to put more thought into it, bro.
If that's all you pick, yeah, sooner or later, it's like a blind squirrel gets a nut every now and then. You know what I mean?
Yep. And he picks up the wins.
So he's got OSP win KO round 1. Musasi wins KO round 1.
Of course.
Hendo wins H-bomb round 1.
I don't see any of those fights ending in round 1.
Maybe OSP.
Ted, can we ask Pat, why do you always pick round 1, bro? Why are you always picking round 1?
That's his thing, I guess. I don't know.
You know what? My girlfriend likes picking decision a lot, and you know what? It works sometimes.
Yeah, I'm usually wrong. I don't know. Even if I'm right and wrong, like I picked that Lineker and Dodson to go to decision, but I had Dodson and it was Lineker. Like nobody should ever bet on anything I ever say because I'm almost always wrong.
So Ted, I put a lot, and I know that you do too. You put thought behind a lot of your picks. I enjoy that. I enjoy, doing my research on fighters that I don't know, looking at the cards ahead of time. I know there's people out there that enjoy looking at my picks, so I really try to give my best educated answer. And sometimes you're hot and you get a couple good cards, but sometimes there's cards out there like the free cards that people have a lot of trouble on because there's a lot of up and coming fighters. But I have fun picking rounds and picking how I think it's going to happen. Pat, I think you'd have fun too if you put a little more analyzing in it. But but you know what? Honestly, everyone's free to their opinions. But it's just funny that you pick round 1 all the time, Pat.
It is. I mean, that's like his thing, and sometimes he's right. But you were talking about doing a little research. I know we want to get to the main event, but real quick, if I could go to, it's the first card on the main card, the first fight on the main card, Mirsad Bektic versus Russell Doan. I really had to do my homework on these guys because I'm not too familiar with them. It's a bantamweight fight. Bektic is 10-0. He's a Bosnian. I was gonna say Croatian. You can't call him Croatian. It's 2 different countries. He's a Bosnian. 10-0, 5 knockouts, 2 submissions, 3 decisions. He looks really good. Russell Doan is 14-6. He has lost. We talked earlier about going on losing streaks. This is the guy I was talking about. He's lost his last 3. I found out.
Okay, all right.
Decision to Iori Alcantara, decision to Jared Sanders, and a submission to Pedro Munoz. So this is do or die for Russell Doan. If he doesn't win this one, I feel pretty certain he's going to be out with 4 wins in a row.
Four losses. Yeah, 4 losses.
4 losses in a row. They're going to send him back to Hawaii. Bektic, I think, is going to win this. I mean, I think he's going to continue. Very athletic, very fast. Great takedown defense. Great takedowns. I like it. I like his striking a lot. I like it a lot. Doan is susceptible to the takedown, so I see Doan. Unfortunately, I see Doan losing.
Who are you saying is going to win this fight?
Bektic, Mirsad Bektic. I think he's going to win it. I'm going to go with decision, unanimous decision.
All right. I'm going to do a little research on that because I'm not too familiar with that fight, so I want to make sure I'm caught up on that.
Me too. I looked up the records, looked up some clips on YouTube. You kind of like you say, you make your best educated guess.
Yeah, as a professional, it's almost like it's expected of us to know who's on the card in a way. So I always try to make sure that for everybody out there, that at least as a professional, that we do put our research and time into our picks, even if we're not familiar with them. This is something we take very seriously.
I mean, with like 500 plus fighters on the roster, it's tough to have every fighter right in the top of mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But anyway.
All right. So that gets us into our main event, Ted.
Yes,
Michael Bisbing coming for revenge here to send Dan Henderson packing, saying, you know what, you knocked me out at UFC 100. I've come a long way since then. Have a great night. You're not getting the confetti falling from the ceiling. This is no fairy tale ending. Hendo is saying, I don't know why Michael would want to rematch with me. This is bad. What do you think?
Wow. Yeah, I thought they were going to make this fight a while ago. You remember when Bisbing won the title from Luke Rockhold, and Hendo fought on that card too. Yeah. And he was on the stage when there was that shouting match between Bisbing and Rockhold, and Hendo cut his eye at Bisbing like, just shut the F up, man. Just shut up, you fool. And I'm not saying that that's the way I feel about Bisbing, because he's a character, and I like the way he promotes fights. But Hendo was just like, this idiot. You know what I mean? So I was like, oh, there we go. They're setting it up. I mean, not that was planned. I don't think it was. I think it was very spontaneous, but that's all the UFC needed. They're like, oh, there we go. And then of course, then Bisbing is like, this is who I want. I want this guy. I want revenge. And once I knock him down, I'm going to give him one more, just like he gave me, to shut him up.
This is absolutely amazing. And for any of our listeners out there that don't know who Michael Bisbing is, he came up on The Ultimate Fighter. They had beef. I forgot what season exactly it was. Season 8?
They were coaches.
Yeah, they were coaches on the season of Ultimate Fighter. Bisbing was running his mouth the entire season. The end of the season, UFC 100, they finally meet again. It wasn't that bad of a fight, Ted. It was back and forth, and you can clearly see how far Bisbing's come since then. And even that last fight, Henderson was supposed to retire very soon after then. He's still in the game now. So I think that Hendo is running on fumes at this point. Bisbing is trying to capitalize on that to make him 2016 Fighter of the Year.
Yeah, I think if he does this, I like your idea there. I would have to go with. I would have to go with that. Yeah, I mean, I remember that fight so distinctly. Hendo stepped forward. I think it was with like a low left kick that was more like kind of like a distraction. Okay, and then over the top with the right, and then one more, boom. Forearm basically.
Everyone out there, this video is up on YouTube for free. I definitely recommend you watching it if you haven't. One of the best highlight knockouts in UFC history.
And Hendo since has capitalized on that. He's got T-shirts with him coming down like this, with the hammer. The H-bomb. This is the H-bomb, and then the hammer. So he's really he's really made it known, like, hey, this is what I did to the guy, and that that kind of has rubbed Bisbing the wrong way. So we got Bisbing, who is he's primarily a striker. I mean, he's got some ground game too, but he's really likes the stand-up game. I saw a picture of him today. He was kickboxing when he was a teenager. So, and he's brought his striking up a lot in the sense. Oh, sorry about that. I used to criticize him along with a lot of other people that he was a pitter-patter kind of, pillow-fisted kind of fighter. Well, he's shown he's got some knockout power as well.
Yeah, man.
We saw the way he put out Rockhold. So
he even knocked down Silva in their fight a couple of times.
Right, he knocked Anderson Silva down. The great Anderson Silva
at the end of the first 2 rounds too.
Yes. So this. Yeah, I hate to pick against Hendo, but I just don't. I mean, Dan Henderson, a wrestler by trade, but developed his striking, and of course he's got the devastating right hand. But and we saw him in his win against Hector Lombard. I mean, that was pretty cool the way he did that back elbow. I just think Bisbing is too skilled, too smart. Too much on too much of a roll, he's got that whole feeling of this is my destiny. So his first part of the destiny, fulfilling was to win the title. Now he's on his revenge tour. So Henderson, he's got to get Henderson back. I got to go with Bisbing.
How does this fight not pump you up? Ted, I'm sure you're going to get a lot of people calling you on American because this fight at the O2 Arena, Michael Bisbing has never lost at the O2 Arena. Let me say that.
Good point.
So
I love Hendo. We're the same age. We're both 46. It's amazing what he's done. And he's had a tremendous career. And this would certainly cap it off. And he's going back and forth on whether he's going to retire after this fight or not. The latest is he will. He said he was going to retire. Then he said, no, I'll probably, do another fight. Now he's back to retiring.
Yeah.
I don't think he knows what he's going to do. But his legacy's already set. This would just kind of be another, it's just a cherry on the top.
It would be amazing if Dan Henderson does win. Here's the thing with Dan Henderson. There could be 6 seconds left in the fight. Bisbing could be up on top the entire time. And the fight could end in a split second from anything that Dan Henderson throws out there. Anything. So you got to watch out for him. Do never at any point in the fight count him out. We saw that last fight you were just talking about with Hector Lombard. Right? That was his last fight, Hector Lombard.
Yeah.
And Hector Lombard in that first round was throwing Henderson around the ring, busting him up. I was like, oh, it's all over. Second round, he lands that back elbow.
Yep.
Drops him. H-bombs him again. Imagine if that was his last fight. Nope. The fans wanted this fight. What does Michael Bisbing have to do? So here's what Michael Bisbing has to do. He's came leaps and boundaries. He's just come so far since the last time they fought. His striking is on a new level with who's he training with?
Jason Perillo.
Jason Perillo, who trains with Cyborg as well. This is a new year, a new Michael Bisbing, so to say. If he could seal this deal with Dan Henderson, and I think it's going to happen, Michael Bisbing will be getting Fighter of the Year.
So yeah, he's got to stay away from the
grittiness.
From the H-bomb.
Yeah.
You think he's going to be able to stay away from the H-bomb?
I think that he's this is a great fight, and I can't wait because it could go either way. There's no real argument on either behalf as spectators here. We just really got to wait and see to see what happens because I don't know what to expect here. You don't know because Dan Henderson, it's his last fight. You don't know what's going through his head, how he's feeling about it. He could be on a whole new level, bring everything that throughout the years to the table come this Saturday night.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm pumped, dude.
Imagine if Hendo wins, though.
Oh my God. I will go nuts because I'm just, I'm looking at it objectively. I mean, I'm a fan of both of these guys, but I'm leaning towards Bisbing. Sometimes I don't want to sound like a kook here, but sometimes you get like a vision, and what I see is I picture Bisbing just getting him down and then against the cage, like Hendo's against the cage, just ground and pound, and the ref's got to pull him off of him. That's just the way I see it. I don't know. I could be totally wrong.
If he does this at the O2 Arena especially, I know there's a lot of people out there that are going to hear the podcast or hear this episode of Evil Intoxicated and be like, Ed and Ted not repping the American fighter going over the lake. But here, guys, I got to be brutally honest. I don't base my decisions off of where we're from. This has nothing to do with it. It has to do with what Michael Bisbing has been showing us lately. And he's been showing us that he's made a lot of improvements to his game.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, I can't wait because, it's just either way, it'll be, well, I mean, if it's the end for Henderson, it's just the end of a great career,
At the same time, if Henderson wins, I would be so happy for him.
And I tend to think, as I said before, I think he's got one more in him. I think he's going to want to defend the belt. I don't know. It's just what I think. He's going to get that. If he gets the belt, he's going to be like, you know what? I know I said I was going to retire, but I want to defend it.
How do you not? You know what I mean? How do you not defend it?
Unless your name's Conor McGregor and you never plan on defending any belt.
Well, he's making his own story, so he has a pre-written storyline out. But anyways, Dan Henderson, I wish him the best of luck. They should be over there now, I'm pretty sure, right? It's fight week. So
Yeah, they're all over there. Oh yeah.
They had the open workouts today, so the weigh-ins are going to be Friday. I don't know exactly what time.
Oh yeah, and what's the deal with the time change? How are they going to do this? Is this going to be on delay, or?
I think it's going to be on earlier in the day, like we saw with the Silva versus Bisbing fight, which I know a lot of people over there across the lake do enjoy this, but it is a little difficult for us here on the East Coast. But then again, I don't want to play crybaby because they have to wait up till 5 a.m. to see the main event sometimes. So
yeah, we get the lion's share of the fights over here. So I'll have to check on that. Yeah, because
it's like a weird.
What's that?
It's like a weird feeling to watch fights like in the middle of your day or in the morning. I can't get into it. You know what I mean? I wait all day for the fight. When it's in the afternoon, it's like it's weird to me. It's like almost like watching a baseball game because you're like your mind's not fully on the fights at that early stage. You know what I mean? I'm just not used to that. So
I'll have to check that out. I have to check to see what they're gonna do with that.
When you say delay, do you mean it's gonna go live and they're gonna air it hours later? Because it can't even work that way with the way social media is. You know, we saw that mistake with Bellator.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. They would. Yeah, there'd be spoilers and everything. Yeah, they're gonna have to go live.
So
you're right.
Before we end the show, Ted, is there anything else going on in the chat room? Anything anyone wants to discuss or anything? Now's your time, guys.
Wonder Boy, aka Brooklyn, was reminding us that Hendo trained with the great Captain America for years. I think we might have talked about that the last episode. That they started Team Quest together. Randy Couture.
Yeah, we talked about that last week, I'm pretty sure.
Randy Couture, Dan Henderson, and Matt Lindland started Team Quest.
And they're still really good friends to this day. They go all the time, and you know.
Yeah, I think it was Lindland. There was some legal thing over who could use Team Quest. You know, I think it was between Lindland and Hendo. They had the problem, but I don't know. I don't know what happened there. Pat says he's going to watch it right now. The Bisbing versus Hendo 1.
Dude, you got to watch it. And everyone out there, it's free. It's on YouTube. Definitely go check it out. Let me know what you guys think because, you know, you're going to see a lot of differences at Bisbing. Bisbing even says when he rewatches that fight, he cringes at some of the mistakes that he makes. It's just a young fighter. You know what I mean?
Oh, and Minion's saying no change for the United States, but UK fans get fucked.
How? Minion, guys. Minion is one of the most knowledgeable people in MMA right now on Twitter with his videos. Very informative. Definitely check him out. We gave you guys the tag before. He did a segment on my podcast. He does it every week. Definitely check that out. It's up on Apple iTunes. Just search Pure Evil MMA. Podbean.com as well.
So, yeah, I don't know how. Because we're like 5 hours apart.
6, yeah, 5 or 6 hours.
Between 5 and 6 hours difference between the East Coast and England. The main event starts Sunday the 9th in the UK. At 12:30 a.m. Sunday the 9th. So the times stay the same in the United States, he's saying. Okay. All right. Wow. That really does suck for the...
Dude, they get screwed a lot, man. They really do.
Wow.
It's a worldwide sport, man. It's not like here in the States where there's baseball and, you know, only a couple hours difference. 6 hours is, you know, the other side of the day. You know what I mean? It's just, it's hard for MMA fans over there. So I understand their frustration.
But, I mean, hey, it's their guy, Bisbing, so I think they'll be all right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're
Fourth.
Without a doubt. All right, so is there anything else going on in the chat room or anything that you want to discuss before we depart, Ted?
Eddie, I think that's it, man. I think it's a wrap. I mean, this was another 2-hour show. It's getting to be a regular thing for us. It's just the way things work out organically, but we try to give people their money's worth, I guess.
Ted, I want to give you props.
I don't know there's any money involved, but, you know.
On last week's show, man, your story about the rat, that was a big hit. I got a lot of messages of people that really enjoyed us talking about our lives and you know, those kind of stories.
Oh, the mama rat. Oh, the mama rat, yeah. Or the mouse. Yeah, it was a mouse. Yeah. I still haven't found her, so I think she escaped.
Oh, yeah.
I think she's out of my garage, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, there you go. So, guys, if you missed it and you tuned in late, this podcast is going to be up directly after this here on my page. Ted usually uploads it on his page as well. I'll be editing this down into segments for everybody. So tonight we talked about UFC 204. We talked about UFC Portland breakdown. The weekly news, which pretty much was UFC 205. Conor McGregor smoking pot. Jose Aldo. What else did we talk about, Ted?
Jules the Jackal. The whole UFC 205 business. We didn't even get to Verdum versus Velasquez 2 at UFC 207.
Very quickly, there were some news announcements that you wanted to talk about before we went live. You just want to announce those really quick?
Yeah, the rematch, Fabricio Verdum versus Cain Velasquez 2. Makes sense because Stipe Miocic, the heavyweight champion, said he wanted some time off. So I would guess that this would be for the battle for the number one contender between Verdum and Velasquez at UFC 207. So we're going to see sea-level Cain. It's not going to be above sea level, in Mexico City. It's going to be sea-level Cain December 30th. And then we have Daniel Cormier defending against Anthony Rumble Johnson, the fight that I think most people wanted to see. They were like, John Jones can wait. He hasn't even sorted his crap out yet with the Athletic Commission. So Cormier versus Rumble 2, that's a rematch as well. UFC 206 in Toronto.
Okay, UFC 206 is in Toronto. Now, GSP versus Nick Diaz. That's what's allegedly going around right now. And GSP...
What are you talking about?
GSP is saying that...
I know. Yeah, that rumor's been around for a while, yeah.
I mean, Nick is saying that the only fight that he wants is the GSP fight. Do you think that's going to happen or what?
It could. It could very well happen. I mean, that would be a huge card because, I mean, Cormier versus Rumble, that's your main event right there because it's for a title. GSP against Diaz could be the co-main.
There you go. I think that's a great idea. GSP was just put back onto the UFC Pick'em site, so I'm really wondering if this is really going to happen. So,
and he's been tested. He's I don't know if he's been tested or he's on the USADA list.
Yeah, what do they call it? The pool, right? It is in the USADA pool.
Ooh. Yeah.
So if you guys are just tuning in, it's too late. It's the end of the show. It will be up on YouTube right here. So subscribe down below. We do this every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern time. You do not want to miss it out. That guy above me is Ted Czech from YouTube, the infamous YouTube guy, with the best MMA videos out there that are short, fast, and to a point. Interacts with all of his listeners. Ted, you just want to give out your tags before we take off?
My name's Ted. TEDCZECH, like the Czech Republic. That's probably what I should call my group. You've got the Evil Army. I should have the Czech Republic. But anyway, yeah, I'm on YouTube. Check me out. I'm on Facebook. I'm back in the saddle again on Twitter. I said, you know what? I'm gonna make a point to get on Twitter pretty much every day. I want to have a presence on Twitter every day, and see what I can do with that. So back in the saddle again.
Huge props to you, Ted, for introducing me to Reddit, dude. I'm loving it.
That's a great one. It's the best. The Reddit MMA forum, it's like a message board or whatever you want to call it. It's awesome. And Ann thinks that Bisbing's going to win.
Thank you, Ann. Congratulations to this week's winner for the UFC Pick'em, Dandy Dave, and also Randy. So thank you guys so much for listening to episode number 16?
16.
Episode number 16 of Evil and Intoxicated. I'm Evil Eddie. You guys can find me on Twitter at evil_echo, or to make things a lot more simple, at Pure Evil MMA. You can find the podcast up on Apple iTunes and Podbean.com. It was released this morning. We discussed UFC 205, Conor, the new owners, all the latest news in MMA. We have fun segments set up. It was a great episode tonight and also on the podcast. It will be up on SoundCloud, Evil Intoxicated episode 16. If you want to listen to this tomorrow morning on your way to work or at your gym time, it's always fun to listen to some of your MMA shows. And in my opinion, there's a lot of good ones out there, but none better than this. All right, Ted, I had a great night with you, man.
Best.
Thanks, and shout out to everybody in the chat room. I had a great night. I hope you guys all had a great night. I'm Evil Eddie from Pure Evil MMA. That's Ted Czech, and we're out.